just more like we've just been talking about personal branding. I printed out a sheet. On that sheet, I kind of went over like, well, we all know what personal branding is. Personal branding, and we got some business owners in here. And I guess it's one of the things where I had a discussion with somebody, and we talked about being in the background and just focusing on branding and marketing the company and not really branding themselves. And I kind of gave a scenario on where at some point we want to brand ourselves, right? So I'm thinking more of productizing myself and monetizing me and cultivating myself as a brand, as an identity, right? So and building off of me and my knowledge and my know-how to creating more products around myself, right? So um, and saying that I kind of gave an example, like we got Tesla, but we kind of need to know about Elon Musk too. So we got the Tesla brand, but we got Elon Musk as a personal brand. I kind of use that as an example. So one of the problems is lack of clarity about what the brand is in your core message. So a lot of people don't know that you're creating content and that you are a brand, whether you whether you know it or not, right? So and how do I funnel that into a product, into an offer, into something, right? Number two is like inconsistent online presence or no online presence for some people in this class. So we got to start somewhere, right? So it's inconsistent, no social media, no website, none of that, right? So at some point you got to funnel somebody to a website, right? Number two is you don't understand your target audience. So um, a lot of people got fear of putting themselves out there. Especially, I talk to a lot of ladies, obviously. So a lot of ladies like kind of worried about their background and how their hair look and how their tooth is in the front and all of that stuff. So sometimes that could be some resistance in executing because your background ain't right or something. If you're doing video, it doesn't have to be video. Even though video is my weapon of choice, doesn't have to be video. It could be writing. I don't care what it is. It's just content. You putting it out there. Um, Another thing is being overwhelmed with trying to be everywhere at once. So it's like, damn, I gotta be on TikTok. I gotta be on Instagram. He talked about LinkedIn. He talked about this. He talked about that. That could be a problem in starting your own thing, right? So another thing is unclear about your values and all of that stuff. So I got like a little checklist that we could kind of talk through in a minute where we could just kind of go through and kind of check some stuff off on where I'm at and where I need to start, things like that. So I guess creating a brand statement, outlining who you are and what you do and all of that stuff. I guess you could kind of think of that as like, am I on LinkedIn? Kind of, do I have a bio and do I have anything up there now? Do I have a story? Do I have my story written out? Do I have my outline? Do I have my origin? Do I have all this stuff that I do? You can take what you do and take that through ChatGPT and almost do a rebranding of yourself, and it'll see stuff that you might not see. Because I'm thinking I'm just teaching all the time, but I'm doing community engagements too. So it's like all these pieces and parts, and how can I streamline this and turn this into a product? How can I turn it into a community where it's an online community? So you're going in these spots, but you got an online presence too, where they got gamifications in there, they got awards, they got this, they got that, they got apparent pieces, they could come, they could look at it, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Like we talked about, we kind of locked into like the algorithm of the school that they don't have an after school program. The parents gotta pick them up early. Like I would have kids and we would be rocking in as soon as they boot up the computer. boom, their parents is coming to get them. We got to go somewhere. So it's like, so, so it's like I need an avenue where they can come in and I can scale that avenue, and that's going to be online. So let's just say that everybody in here is part of my team. She's doing an etiquette piece. She's doing a product piece, right? So if you come into this community, then you got community, you have like these pieces and parts inside of membership, community, and you get these different educators in there, and then you get these different levels of stuff that's in there, right? And you start scaling that, and then you want to sell it. So that's like an acquisition where you sell it to another company. Then if it's me, then I can probably come in with that deal, right? So I could come in for a little while. I've just kind of skimmed over it a little bit. I, I've seen people like take their online courses and sell them, right? So I've seen it be done like that. So that's probably like another class where we could really build on that and just like do a deep dive in that. But theoretically, if it's like you got Chris Doe and then you got the Future. So the Future is his brand, and Chris Doe is kind of like one of the teachers that he's popular. So if you type in the Future, you'll get the Future, but then you get right. So it's almost like I'm Jay Working, and then you got the Creative Kids Group, but the Creative Kids Group is like my LLC. But online, I'm mostly like Jay Working. So I'm Jay Working, and everybody know me as Jay Working. They kind of know the Creative Kids Group if you look at it, but it's like if you have these challenges, if you have these different principles and these different like frameworks and stuff, you're going to coin those and name those anyway. So a lot of the overall arching stuff, this is just some of the stuff that y'all already know, right? So it's me coining it in a certain way. So like this checklist that I have is like once I go through this 100 times and I say this is the perfect checklist for people like y'all, and then I'll name it. So that's the name of that product, and you'll just give certain stuff different like names and stuff, and you could coin it and change it and then just sell it like that. That makes sense? I think it's all just strategy, right? So it's just like once you get to certain levels, you're gonna hit a ceiling, right? So you're gonna need to raise your prices. You're gonna have to like maybe get some assistant, maybe. You might have to grow a team if you want to do that. You don't have to do that. I think the whole thing around personal branding is that you can be a one-man shop, and then you can scale that and be profitable by doing that, right? It's just having whatever products you have associated with you, because the whole idea around the personal brand thing is just being a thought leader in that space and getting trust and being able to figure out a way to maneuver through social media with marketing tactics, as far as like I talked about the funnel, I talked about lead magnets and all of that stuff, and what's a lead magnet, and a way to basically persuade. So it's a difference between persuade and manipulation. So I like to persuade versus manipulate. So understanding persuasion and understanding some of these tactics is a way to be clear on who your audience is and to hook them in and to bring them in and drive them to something. So you're not just posting, like I just been posting clips of all my videos. You notice that I'm recording my class the whole time, right? So I record my class the whole time and I record my screen. And for one, I'll use it to look back over it to see what I was talking about, see when I was talking crazy or not, and to see as almost like a guide to myself to make sure that, so it's possible, let's just say you missed this class but you wanted to come. It's possible that I could put this whole class on a platform that you can get it, right? So I have all of these courses and I have all of these classes that I have, and I built up this library. So it's almost like when you start and you're really not starting at ground zero, you've collected some data and you sharing pieces and parts of that data, and you'll just evolve it and you'll reiterate over and over and over again. You have to have a starting point so you can start, so you can evolve it. It's like, my iPhone is iPhone 13, we up to 13 Pro 6. It didn't just start at iPhone 1. It was iPhone 2. They kept evolving it, so it's different versions. So as you, as a personal brand, whatever system you have, you will evolve with that, right? So I talk about this all the time. Like you probably are already coaching, you probably already looking at information, you probably taking notes, and you probably have a way of thinking. And whoever you talk to on a regular basis, y'all probably do a powwow, this, that, and the other. And it's all about being creatively solving some problems. Like I need a solution, and I created the solution. I've been working in this field this whole time. I retired from it. It sucked. This is where they went wrong. This is where I could have went right. You know what I'm saying? It's like these epiphanies and these aha moments that we have should be documented and it should be created, right? And so the quickest way to get engagement with somebody is, to me, doing some video, but it has to be done right. The problem is that so many people are doing so many videos and so much TikTok and all of that stuff. It can get fuzzy. You want to have the latest sound. You want to have captions that's green and they popping down at the bottom, and you want to be bouncing in and bouncing out, and you want to be talking to your target audience. You want to, it's like, how can I still stay within myself and still not get too trendy so it doesn't feel too trendy? And I'm still giving value to my audience. I think people be too focused on like the fanciness of it and not really targeting on the message on what I'm saying. So it's like really targeting on people pain point, hooking them in. And it's like if you remember taking writing or you do writing right now, it's like a framework that's in the writing. It's like a pain point, it's like a solution, it's like a step-by-step process, it's a conclusion, it's a piece and part that's in there that cultivates a story, right? And once you practice that, you could almost do that automatically by itself. I mean, you could almost kind of do it off the top of your head once you understand some of the principles. It's the same thing with shooting a video. It's like a hook, it's like a rehook, it's like different when the persuasion is different models and different ways to persuade people to get them to engage with you a little bit, but you got to have something else for them to latch on to. You ready? I'm trying to test me to see. Trying to test me to see. I'm in my notes. So here's one. It's a group of people have a problem, and then you talk about their problem. You have a customer who wants a result, so we use a mechanism. So this is like you help a target audience achieve X so they can have a certain outcome. So it's grabbing the audience attention by a compelling statement or a question. So you start, yeah, that's the hook. So let me see if I did. Let me see. This is like a direct. This is like me. I'm just going right in on here. Look, this is what I need you to do. I need you to pick up your phone, cut the camera on, and press the record button and tell your story. I need you to do. So you see what's here? Huh? Look, this is what I need you to do. I need you to pick up your phone, cut the camera on, and press the record button and tell your story. I need you to do that a couple times. I need you to do it like so many times. I need you to do a different video every day. And I know they're going to suck. You know they're going to suck. They only going to suck for a little while. Everybody that I follow is smart. And I know everybody that I follow knows about marketing. And y'all know what the heck it is. So I ain't going to teach y'all about marketing. This is marketing. Just market yourself. Market what you're doing. I follow too many people that got and do wonderful things and got wonderful products and all these amazing stories about them. And don't nobody know about it besides me. Y'all need to share your story. If you want to grow your brand, because I specialize in branding and personal branding, you got to do this. It's your job. Pick that phone up right now. I'm about to go to your page right now. I'm going to your page. All right, so that's right. So you get it. So it's first of all, you gotta what your purpose is. So it's a main topic and why it's important, right? So you can kind of type in ChatGPT, like give me a hook and give me a rehook, right? So if I come to my LinkedIn, let me see. If I go to my thing right here, let me see. I was getting fancy. You could kind of just go on ChatGPT and kind of type in like, yo, what you want to talk about and say, give me a hook for that, right? Yeah. And then, let me see. Here go one. Are you passionate about writing but struggling to turn your passion into a profitable venture? Why is it that so many talented writers fail to monetize their craft? So it's almost like a question. It's almost like a hook is like hooking them in. So it's bringing them in, and then you kind of giving them solutions for that. That makes sense? So it don't always have to be a question, but that's kind of how I've been kind of doing it a little bit. So I asked, when did you post today? And then I came up with a follow-up, was like, what are you waiting for? So here's another video. It's like talking directly to the person. It's different, right? So here you go. I went to Instagram and I didn't see any video at all. I went to your page and I didn't see a YouTube channel. I went to your Instagram and I didn't see any video at all. You're doing all this dope stuff and I've yet to see you open up your mouth and talk about it. What the heck is you waiting for? You should be posting and running your mouth and telling everybody how special you are, the specialized work that you do. I said, and I don't think that everybody really got what I said when I said everybody is a genius. You're just not a genius all the time. But even he used to get lost going home sometimes. He couldn't find his house. So he wasn't a genius all the time. I talk about this all the time. That's you. I need to see your genius on your YouTube channel. I need to see you talk the talk and walk the walk. Post today, son. Amen. I went to your page and I didn't see. So I just been doing it a long time. So I've watched other people, so now you know what the hook is. So now it's just really about locking into who your competitors are, right? So who your competitors are and where are they at? Are they on YouTube? Do they got a podcast? Are they on TikTok? What is their messaging? What's their links? What's on their website? How many landing pages they got? Do they got a membership? What's inside the membership? Beautiful thing about you is that you are already inside of a membership, so you can see all of the ins and outs of how they got it set up, and all you're going to do is just redo it for yourself and bring in those customers and bring in those clients. This is the thing. This is the overall arching thing is that the problem is not having a product or framework or whatever it is. The problem is not just getting some traffic to it. Got to have both. You can have a beautiful product, T-shirts or whatever. If you're not hooking them in with the reason to come in, to look and pull that up, they're not going to come. You might get it. You got a good, different strategy, but maybe you could talk about it a little bit if you want. But so you have to have incentives to come in, and that's called a lead magnet. Get my free this, get my free that, right? That's a hook too. So I talk about the value ladder. People know about the value ladder, right? It's a ladder. It's a value ladder that goes up. The dentists use it all the time. I'm gonna clean your teeth for free, and the next thing you know, he's pulling your tooth out, and now you got to get a bridge, and now you got to come every 6 months. It's a hook to hook them in, and then you bring them up. Like you go to the mall, a guy hand you a little toothpick with some meat on it. Yeah. That's a hook. You taste it, and now you're getting some hibachi. Right? So that's the That's the lead magnet that you have. I talked about this last time, and I talked about permission marketing. I don't know if y'all follow. Was you here? Do you remember? This is my assistant, y'all. So I talked about permission marketing. Permission marketing is like getting permission to market to people. Before we wasn't doing that. We was getting bombarded. You could just email blast people. You didn't have to accept their emails or whatever. So permission marketing is almost like giving somebody a toolkit in Instagram and almost asking them, like, if you want this toolkit, type in toolkit in the description. You might have heard of that before. So you don't always want to sound salesy all the time, but you can sound salesy sometimes. So it's giving somebody a little bit of value, but at the end of the day, I want to lead somebody to my online course, my online workshop, my online coaching, this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. Right? So, questions? That makes sense? Okay. Let's go over this, because I ain't got all day. Huh? Hold on, I'm gonna help y'all out because y'all like to write. All right, so I'm gonna test this out on y'all, and then here I be like testing stuff out. So, so I did say that I record all my classes just so I can see my teaching style, but I can have all my classes, and I'm building up that library that I'll probably eventually have that on the back end of coming into a membership, and inside this membership you can get X, Y, and Z. You don't have to do that, right? But you should at least have 1 month to just say I'm gonna have a. Do you understand what I mean by having a membership? Yeah. Okay. So it's a couple of websites that you could use to build your membership platform. One of them is called Mighty Networks. One of them is called School. That's SKOOL. And it's another one called Kajabi. Kajabi, Kajabi. I like Kajabi because Kajabi is like all in one. So the strategy behind this is, and I love it, and I'm gonna give it to y'all because y'all my family, is that you can have a community. Right? The community is free. It's almost like a Facebook community membership. It's all about the 3 C's. What's the 3 C's? The 3 C's is community, that we're talking about, content, and coaching. That's the foundation of it, right? So community, that's the free part. So you can have a community come in, and that's all the people, that's people like us that's engaging on this. And you just do some housekeeping. Don't be in here selling, acting crazy, blah, 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 whatever that needs to be. And then the content is what? You got these weekly classes with me. It's possible that I could do a monthly master class, right? And the master class is on Zoom. So it's just me talking whatever topics that I'm talking about and save y'all questions. I'm not gonna run it like this. I'm gonna make people say their questions to the end. Y'all asking questions and disrupting my flow, coming in late. Y'all all on your phones, texting people, the doctor's office calling y'all. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So you have that part. So you have.
So what's the example of coaching?
Hold on. So let's just say you have a monthly master class, right? And then you have a monthly Q&A, right? So monthly Q&A, and it's almost like this, because you come up in here, I'm doing almost excuse my language. I'm doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm doing like 8 classes a month in here. So I'll just be doing that online, and people could get to me, and I could scale that more, right? And then you could have other little challenges in there. So you could have like challenges, 3-day challenge, 5-day challenge, and some type of like gamification. These is the micros. These is the different levels of. I smell wood burning. That's what my mama said when people be thinking. This is the thing. Like whatever aha moments y'all have in here, and ever y'all scale and blow up and be big, don't forget about me. Add me to y'all team. I don't want you to.
Real quick, you ever heard of
So you got the community part, right? So the community part is love because you're gonna meet other people in there. That's the networking part. That's beautiful, right? And then maybe every quarter you could have a guest pop in. So I'll have you come in and we could do like a fireside chat and give some engagement for some other other people to come in, right? So I could have somebody come in and give a mastermind group or whatever, whatnot, right? So those are some of the things, and then access to any replays for that. So any of those mastermind, uh, not those master courses monthly, and the Q&A that I talked about, those all gonna be on Zoom, and I'm gonna record that, and I'm gonna give replays to that. So if you miss it, that'll be in there, right? And all workshops or courses will be in there too, right? So you have access to that. Then the other level is coaching, what she asked about. So you'll do a discovery, and in the discovery, we'll figure out, work out a plan. The plan could be start with 3 months, and what would 3 months look like, and discover your, talk about what transformation will they get at the end of it, and then you could do 6 months, and then you could do 12 months, like that. You got it? You got it? You got other questions about that? So the thing is, like, what I like to do is, the thing is now, like, I say record everything. So you record, I've seen people record the coaching sessions too, and give access to people to have those other coaching sessions too. And when you have a guest come in, they talk about not only their success, but the back end on how they do all of this stuff too, right? So we had a whole workshop on web design in here. So not only, so part of the web design is we kind of talked about doing a site map for the website, right? So a lot of problems that I see, because I'm a designer, right? So one of the main problems with being a freaking designer is that they train me on how to create collateral and basically how to be an employee. Akron University at the time when I graduated didn't teach us nothing about the business, nothing about contracts, nothing about MOUs, nothing about anything, right? Gaining clients, scaling, pricing yourself the right way in that market. How do I price myself? Again, I'll go back to like the art of stealing like an artist, right? So one of those things is seeing your competitors and what are they charging and what you get in there. You could almost scrape somebody's page because they're going to put the modules in there. They're going to put all the benefits that you get in the membership. You copy and paste that, put it into a document, save it as a PDF, stick that in ChatGPT and say, this is such and such. And then you put your document in there and say, this is me. I don't want to copy it, but I want the same thing for mine. And it's going to print it out like, brrr. It's going to give you all the pieces and the parts to it. So a site map is just basically a flow chart on how your website, the skeleton of your website. So it's almost like the skeleton of your membership too, right? So this is the strategy side and understanding all the pieces and parts that you're gonna give in there. One of the main things, and I think that everybody's probably gonna have a component of it, is mindset. Those two videos I sent, that's just basically mindset. That don't have nothing to do with funnels or none of that. It's like people kind of stuck in different areas and you want to get them to just get out their comfort zone and create some content because you got to brand yourself, because you got to sell your ideas and get people, because one of the things is that people have problems and they don't know that they have a problem, right? So you got to give them awareness that it's a problem, and if they do have a problem, then that's kind of like half the battle, but you got to let them know that this exists and this is for them, right? So it's like a journey that everybody has to go through, and maybe it was just a misstep with her getting into the membership. She just might have not been clear on the journey path on where she was supposed to go and end up at. Everybody in here right now is at a current state, and you have a future state. So you got current state right here, future state right here, and it's something in the middle. In the middle, that's the barrier that you want to get through, is to getting me to my future state. You want to write that down? Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I'm putting that on Instagram today.
Oh yeah, you got to record.
All right, so here we go. Let's get into this. So, number one, brand clarity. Write down 3 to 5 sentences describing your brand. Highlight those areas of confusion, and vagueness. Huh? No, absolutely not. No, no. She's asking, can I print this?
See, look, now you know. See, now everybody go. I whispered it. I wasn't trying to start nothing.
Huh? This is the 3 to 5 sentences describing your brand. And then highlight those areas of confusion and vagueness. And you could probably like circle like the top 3 pieces of it, like what's in my brand. So then clarify your brand purpose with a single cohesive statement. So we clear on that. So when you're doing like hooks and rehooks and all of that stuff, you're gonna be talking about the same thing over and over again,
So
just in different ways. Huh?
Can you give an example of a single cohesive statement? What would be an example of that?
I could say I teach kids how to think. You just want to write down the statements, and then once you write down the statements, you could take it in ChatGPT and get some ideas from that. We just want to get a starting point, and then we'll let ChatGPT be our assistant in pulling out all of that stuff. Because when you go to a website and it's got all this information in there, a copywriter made that content for you. That's the thing. Is like back in the day when we got it's like I need a website. That took a lot of pieces and parts to go into cultivating a website. You got a web designer, he's in the front end on how it looked and how cute it is, your colors and all that. You got a web developer in the back developing the code and all the functionalities of the code. I need to collect credit cards. I need to have people, and I need to get profiles in there. I need them to be able to talk to each other. Now with stuff like Kajabi, it's like a click of a button. It's already set in there. If you look at the back end of Kajabi right now, it's 3 products. It's coaching. You click coaching, and it'll say what you want: 3, 6 months, 6 months. It'll just populate already. It's already templated out. That's the whole thing we like in the industry right now, where ChatGPT and all these programs is just a template already ready to go. All you need to do is just talk your talk and just push people to it. The thing is all right, you talked about the hook, the lead magnet. It's like grab this ebook, it's for free, like you did, and give me your email. I'm having a course. I'm only letting 10 people in there. It's only going to be $47, and I got a waiting list. Get on my waiting list. I talked about this last time. To get a Rolex watch, you cannot just go in there and grab a Rolex watch. You got to get on a freaking waiting list to get the Rolex watch. And then when they call you, you better be ready. Because if you're not ready with your money, you're not going to get it. And you got to wire them the money. You can't, they not taking cash. You know how much it costs to wire some money? It's a whole nother step. Why do I got to go through all of this stuff to get the Rolex?
Yeah.
It's the persuasion. It's the thing that's behind doing it. It's a difference if it's just a food truck open with nobody standing in it, and a food truck that's kind of closed yet, and it's a line because we ain't opening, but we only got limited. So it's this whole persona around the demand.
Yeah.
It's the
It always bothers
demand.
me with the authenticity of certain things and that putting up that perception and it not being a truth. You know what I mean? Like you said, partially opening it so you can create a line, but then you got this. If you're a person who wants to do good customer service and you know what I mean? And,
Yeah. Well, it was
or
just
like even like with people who sell products and they'll only have a limited supply. They'll sell out real quick. They never really stocked. I don't know.
yeah.
And then
You got a
just
problem with that?
a little bit.
Really?
Like, are you,
What's the demand?
That's manipulation.
Because
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what I'm
demand.
saying. It's the difference between persuasion and manipulation for me.
So I'm not
Like I understand that might work, but when it comes down to
What's
it.
the trick though? Because isn't
trick-
it your
well,
choice?
So
So this is what I did. So I used to sell waist trainers, and I didn't have enough money to buy a large stock. So I had enough to get 20 from my vendor.
Okay.
I sold 20 and I sold out in literally like 15 minutes. So when I put sold out, are you saying since it's not like a large inventory, is that like a finesse?
There's some
That's
people.
different.
Or what if I had?
Well, no, I'm talking about. I'm just talking about tactics.
No,
Right,
I mean,
I'm
that's
building-
always- you got-
Asking
sometimes
her,
you gotta-
like-
no, because that's not like that's you sold out. There's some people who they'll have 200, but they only make 20 available.
Yeah.
I
It's
sold
a-
out, and then they'll pause it. It's they're intentional to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's growing a demand around it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think it's a tactic that work. If I just open it up and I don't create no scarcity around it, people are not going to engage with it. So if you're doing an email sequence, people are not going to pull the trigger until if they know that they got time. It's all psychology in the person. If they know they got time to get your thing whenever they want to, it's just too many decisions that's being made with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So we closing this shopping cart. This your last chance to get it. So if you don't get it, that's it. You have to add that into it because they're not gonna. And I've heard dudes talk about that they don't even get a spike of sales to get their thing until that last email go out and like we're closing this right now. Are they in pain? Do they have spending power? And are they growing? Right. So are they in massive pain? Do they have spending power? Are they easy to target? And are they growing? That's a whole nother class. I ain't say you can write that down. I ain't say you can write that down. Right. So the target audience is, I guess, researching the target audience and how they spend their time online, right? And who is the target audience, age, interests, values, the pain points, and all that stuff. Once you understand your target audience, you could just go into ChatGPT and like, what's their pain points? You know your target audience. You talk about their pain points. That's the hook. Are you struggling in this area? I was struggling too. This is what I did. Get this from me, blah, 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 blah. And here's a transformation. If you need one-on-one coaching, I'm here for you too. You might not need that. You got different people at different levels. Maybe the ebook is enough. But if you need more support, come into my community, mastermind group. We're going to grow this team. Like I just told y'all, I said, once y'all make it in here, don't forget about me. So it wasn't like, you know, I'm giving y'all some ownership to like, damn, let me do something so I can help Mr. Collins. Right? So it was kind of like a little tactic that I use on y'all. Right? So it's like, okay, let me form my own like online product, digital product. This is all about. This is all about creating a digital product because I can scale it. I don't have to trade my time for money. I got this book, I got this. Because a lot of the products that you have doesn't have to even be an original book on your story, right? It could be one method is that I've just looked at the top 20 business books on marketing, design, and business and creativity, and I compiled it and I made my own book about it. That's it. So if you can write your story, that could be an avenue of a book that you could create, right? Or you could hire a ghostwriter. Or you can have a piece where it's a bunch of different writers coming in. You could do that too. Or you can compile your own frameworks and principles and stuff like that. You would have that. Because like we talked about, we have, not we, because you didn't say you did, but I had a problem with the parent engagement. I needed something to send them so they could check in and follow up and come back. I need a way to keep hooking them in and keep them in and keep them engaged. You got something called a churn. Churn is when somebody falls off. You're going to have a churn. You're going to have a part where people fall off. So it's like you have to keep getting people to come in. If you just have one course and that's all you have, let's just say it's $47, you got to keep getting new leads to coming in. So if you have multiple steps inside of your process in your program or whatever, that's going to keep them in longer. Because if you think about it, when you're building up this, you want to take some courses and classes. You flying off to Jamaica with your boo anyway, so you might as well take some money and take a workshop somewhere. Flying off to Puerto Rico and all that stuff with the little.
Oh, you got a vacation
So that's what. That's what $1,000. That's $1,000. But some people need equipment. Some people need equipment. So some people like strapped for cash. So some people need equipment too. So,
Okay.
all right. So, research your audience and what they spend. Reflect on how well your current brand speaks to your audience. I say, that's why I wanted to meet with you, because I looked at your stuff and you had said something. I'm gonna tell you not to do what you said you was gonna do.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
I just confirmed.
Huh?
I confirmed the appointment.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. So target audience, figure out who that target audience is. I talked about niching and I talked about niching down. Be clear on who that target audience is. It can't be for everybody. Man, we be wanting to be for everybody, but this ain't for everybody. We not for the streets. All right, so write down like any fears or hesitations you have about building your brand. Identify one step to confront each fear. So how can I get over this fear? Right? I think one of the things is a lot of people like almost trying to understand just almost like the film part. If you're not editing film yet, that's a part of it. So you might as well wrap your mind around, if you're going to do video, you might as well understand about how to cut the video up. It's easy to do. It's almost like setting up my background, my lighting and all of that. You almost kind of need to turn into a filmmaker a little bit. Right? So understand, and then kind of, you can kind of, well, not kind of, you could go, let's just say that you have somebody who speaks very well. They have a really engaging YouTube channel, somebody that you follow and you admire. You could take that YouTube channel, you can take that video and you can transcribe that. So you can take that and turn that into a transcribe. So you can just go on Google and type in YouTube to transcribe, and it's gonna pop up, and then you just gonna copy that URL. You know what URL is? Okay, good. Thank you. You've been coming long enough. You better say yes. You're gonna take that URL and paste that into the transcribe, and you're gonna transcribe it. You're gonna transcribe all of that content that he said. And then what you're gonna do is take that into a program called Notebook LM. You looking? You can take it in the ChatGPT, but I'm giving y'all something new. Notebook LM. It's by Google. You hit the notebook? Thought you knew everything. Notebook LM. It's a cool little program that looks like Notebook LM is kind of wild. I ain't gonna front. Notebook is wild.
It's free?
Yes. It's free. It's free. You could take that transcript and stick it in Notebook LM, and it'll summarize the video. It's a guy on YouTube that talks about, like, I follow all of these YouTubers and I don't have time to look at the videos. I got an assistant taking all of the videos and transcribing all of the videos and putting them in Notebook LM, and they summarizing all of the videos. I talked about this before, over and over again. If I was to be a superhero, my superpower would be to be able to read books and understand them. The more that you know, the powerfuler you are. Right now, you could do that. But when you stick it in Notebook LM, it'll create a podcast on the information. Two people will talk back and forth about it. You want to see it?
Yeah.
As a conversation?
Yes. 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 Hold on. I'm gonna do myself. My guy, let's see how long this take. My guy, Chris Doe, he gave a keynote, right? So I took the transcribed the keynote, then it pops up like this. So summarizing it, it's asking suggestions. It's just like ChatGPT. All it is AI. It's just AI. It was notebook, right? So you can attach a whole bunch of documents. Like you take all your PDFs, right? So up here where it says generate a conversation, a deep dive conversation, you hit generate, and it's gonna be a white lady and a white man talking about the whatever you put in there, going back and forth, laughing. What he talks about. Let me see how long it take to generate. Huh?
No, that's the same. Get out of here.
Audio or video?
It's gonna do audio.
Okay, okay.
We ain't there yet.
This AI stuff is just like,
So what did you put in?
Hmm?
What did you put in?
it's
Your-
I
What are they?
I went to YouTube. So you see how long that is? That's 42 minutes. So I took that whole keynote. I just went up here. I typed in the top, and I went to another app, and I transcribed everything that he said. So the reason why I do that a lot is I can outline his framework, his model, his points is what he's talking about. Not copying what he's saying, but an overall framework on how we structured it. He's talking about mindset. He's talking about his experiences. He gave 3 examples. He gave these He gave these processes, solutions, his conclusion, his this, his that. So then I could take his whole same framework and just apply it to my stuff. So we're not copying what people are doing, but we're using they methods and their models to create our own.
so wait a minute. Hold up, Jim. No, I'm not calling you that. That's just right. So a kid in school,
Yeah.
got a homework assignment.
Yeah,
So they could just take, they got an assignment. They just
Yeah.
put it in there, and then
They
their
better.
answer is right there.
They
Their
better.
Summary,
they
their
better.
whole-
Yeah, they better. Because sometimes, like you said, or like I said, we have different ways that we learn.
Yeah.
So some of us I learn from teaching. Honestly, that's why I do it. You could learn from audio, from reading,
Yeah.
right, visual and all of that stuff. So it's just like, is it cheating or is it really getting a deeper understanding? So if I read, thank you. If I read Shakespeare, I really need to get the Cliff Notes for that, right? I need the Cliff Notes, but now with ChatGPT, like creatively, I can compare it to other stuff. I can compare it to me. The overall big idea about this is that you're going to cultivate your own intellectual product, and you're going to train ChatGPT on that product to act as you. So the whole thing about your brand story, your brand voice, and all of that, to be clear on that, is because we're going to make our own AI models. They call GPTs. You can create it now. So you can create these agents that act as you, questions and stuff like you or whatever. So I would take all of this, I'm going to compile all of these videos, transcribe my own videos. He's talking about this, he's talking about that, I'm talking about this, that, and the other. I got so much stuff that I've said I'll be almost forgetting. I'm like, damn, package your intellect, I ain't said that in a while. Oh, learning of this, that, and the other, right? So I got a whole catalog of stuff that I'm looking at too, and I'm looking at the trends of how stuff is going. Only you know the trends of the industry and where it's going. Your audience don't know that. This is a better way to package this up. This is a better way to fulfill this on Amazon. This is a better way to this, that, and the other. You're speeding everybody up on the process by going through you. It's worth $1,000 for the year because you're going to jump me over all your learning objectives and the hoops that you went through to speed me up. That's why I'm meeting you for coffee. Right? Because I got questions and you got questions. Right? So it's like, because you got products already. You got a store. So you got different questions than some of them have. So you know where you hit the ceiling at, or where can I simplify this down, or where I want to free myself up from.
Yeah, I think like me, I think one of my anxieties was when I was thinking about if I do a course, what industry, what lane I want in.
I talked about that before because you talked about
Because I know who I am, but you only know what I told you. But I'm just saying, like I was thinking, like, well, which area would I enjoy teaching the most? And it felt like, oh wow, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna test it, like you test everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna
Pick
test
something.
everything.
You just gotta pick something. Actually,
I think the catalyst for you is just the long form content of the YouTube channel. And whatever engagements and whatever questions you get on that, that'll dictate what the course is. You do the pre-sale. I know you think this is manipulation, so you do the. I didn't want to trigger you. I can't be toxic. I know y'all already could tell. And you will create your visuals from that. So you create your visuals from that. So then you have your visuals that's connected to that. So the web.
Cartoon visual.
No, just almost like because you're gonna create the book or you're gonna create the documentation, the slideshow, or the deck of the presentation to do that. So the website is just basically your home. That's your home site, and then the social medias is just traffic, and you pushing them to the house. So the house could be the long form content. As long as you're giving value and you got the links down at the bottom, they're gonna grab the book. Every other video, you might just say, hey, grab my book, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Here's a quick guide to get this, that, and the other, blah, blah. Because you could, remember we talked about persuasion tactics, just doing those all over and over and over again. You could summarize the book real quick, the podcast, if you want to listen to the audio book. You got an audio book?
I'm in search of a studio because I heard Audible has like restrictions and stuff.
Oh, word. So you know you could clone your voice. Clone your voice, take that. You could clone your voice, right? And then the audio book be read by you, or you could read it. But you could clone your voice and the audio book could be read by you.
Look at that. Look at it, girl.
That's called
Don't see
describe.
it, like I'm just tripping because there's a list of things that I know I need to take care of,
see?
and you like just telling me how to knock down my list. So
You laying it out.
yeah,
Right,
like,
so you got the audio book. The audio book could be that. Or you could be like, almost like a checklist on the book too, right? So download this checklist, that, and the other, and if you want a deeper dive, then get the book. So it's like these different little small projects around that, or workshops around the book. So we want to take and we want to just basically sawdust everything that we're doing. So what's sawdust? Sawdust is I take some wood and I cut it and I got all this sawdust on the floor. I'm not throwing it away. I'm taking it and I'm repurposing it somewhere else. So I got different main pillars of content. My main pillar of content is me talking crap for 3 hours. Out of that 3 hours, I'm going to take that and make those small little commercials, and those is going to be the TikToks. I'm going to take that audio off of there and make that a podcast and put that on Spotify. I'm going to take some of the stuff that I'm talking about that and make that into an article. If I have Q&A, then I'll have the Q&A piece. The Q&A piece is people coming in and giving me questions, and them questions turn into products because I find a need where people need to come in and get serviced. That makes sense? So everything is compiling on everything else. So the book is turning into a course, turning into a checklist, turning into an audio book, turning into this, turning into that, turning into my second book, talking about writing styles, my voice, how to create this book, where to start it at, how do I write my chapters, where do I begin, blah, blah, blah. You talking about a website, they trying to get their book together.